can vibe code basically anything right now. But we still don't see a million new companies. Why? Because vibe coding only gets you so far. To build the real product, you need a lot more. At Stream, we've been making developers' job easier for over a decade. And now we are going one step further. We just launched Stream Agent skills that contain recipes for building full products in specific verticals. It doesn't just create the UI, it creates a full stack, including front-end, back-end, AI agent integration, RAG, and more. This allows you to go further than simply creating a fancy front-end. It allows you to build a full company. For the next part, I will let Devon explain.
Here's the thing people get wrong. The reason AI couldn't build a real company wasn't just that it wasn't smart enough. The reasons are more structural than that. There are 3 of them. First, a foundation model is a generalist. It was trained on a little bit of everything. History, poetry, physics, every programming language, and basically the entire internet. But a company isn't really built by a generalist. A company is built by many specialists. Second, the model's knowledge is frozen in time. It learned from a snapshot of the world taken when it was trained, and then that snapshot stopped updating. That matters enormously because the infrastructure real companies are built on changes constantly. APIs get new versions, setup steps get deprecated. The right way to do something this month was the wrong way 6 months ago. And third, even if the model could get its hands on all of the perfect current specialist knowledge, it can't hold all of it at once. Every model has a context window, a limit on how much it can keep in mind at one time. To test whether this is still true, we don't want a toy. We want to try building a real-world company. So let's pick a hard one. There's a type of company you've probably interacted with without realizing it. When you message support for a big airline or a bank and get a fast, helpful answer at 2 in the morning, there's a good chance you weren't talking to a person. You were talking to an AI concierge. Companies that build these run customer support for some of the largest businesses in the world, and the leading ones are valued in the billions. So that's what we're really trying to build. And under the hood, a product like this is really 4 things working together. 1. Real-time chat. A customer types in and an answer comes back instantly at any scale. Second, an AI in the loop. The thing answering isn't a script. It understands the question and responds like a knowledgeable agent. Third, guardrails. It cannot leak data. It can't be talked into going off-brand, and it filters what comes to you and goes out. And last, operational control. You can actually run it, see the live conversations, check what got flagged, manage it as it happens. Now, let's try to build it. To start with, we have a blank repository. And in the blank repository, we have a .env file with all of our API keys required for this project. And we've also installed the Stream Agent skills. So I'm going to use one of the Stream Agent skills called Stream Builder, and I'm going to ask it, build me an AI support agent. As you can see, it tries to find the use case, and it tries to use the recipe that Stream provided to actually build it. It is now trying to use the Stream CLI to actually build the project and set up chat or any other things that you might need. As part of the recipe, we've made things customizable, so you can select what theme you want, let's say what LLM provider that you want, let's just go with Gemini. Also, what kind of knowledge source do you want? So for example, we can go with Turbo Buffer. You can also decide if you want to have a server-side webhook or if you just want a simple demo-only thing, which we'll go with for now. Since every use case is different, you can add optional add-ons to get closer to your actual product. So for this case, let's select persistence, operator dashboard, real human escalation, OpenAI lookup, and basically everything except auth. You can also add vision agents, which is Stream's SDK to create AI agents in Python. And for anything else you might want to add, you can just specify other. As you can see, this has now set up a Postgres database, and it's now using Stream's pre-built components to actually build a UI. Now that it's done with the knowledge, it's setting up the knowledge lookup, knowledge search, escalation, and stuff like that. So this is what Claude came up with. It's a overall service called Nimbus Cloud Support, and it has a bot called Aria. So we can go on and enter a username. I'll enter my own name for now. And you'll see that it already has a support agent and it also has an operator dashboard. In the operator dashboard, you can add specific rules and you can say, for example, like now you must never promise refunds after 30 days. You can also see your previous tickets, any integrations, what is configured, what is not. So for now, you can see that email isn't configured, but everything else is. So we'll go to a new conversation and we can just start a conversation first. We can ask it, hey, what are your pricing plans? And once we ask this question, the bot will use Gemini and the knowledge we fed it to actually give us an answer about the free pro and business plans. We can also ask it, can you actually escalate this to a human? And it will mark the ticket as needs human review. So when we go to the operator dashboard, we can go to tickets and it will actually say, hey, this needs a human. This will also give us all the information of the transcript, any of the chat, as well as the tool activity that actually happened. So you can see that there was a search knowledge query and there was an escalate to human query. So all of these tools are inbuilt into the Gemini bot. So what this is actually built is not just a pretty UI, but it's actually built all of these features. So chat, LLM, RAG, persistence, human escalation, API docs, etc. The bot can fetch any information needed when a human asks, and you can integrate this bot into any of your applications. So you have a full login flow, you have conversation tracking, you have all these features, you have an operator dashboard, you have live rules, you can have tickets and human escalation, you can have many integrations, and that's just with a single prompt. So that's the beauty of this. You can now build entire production applications with a single prompt and have it production ready. Now, let's be careful because it's easy to oversell. We did not replace a company. A company is far more than a software. It's the trust customers place in it, it's the team, it's everything around the product that you don't necessarily see or install with one command. But the part everybody assumed was the hard part, the technical core, the thing that used to take a strong team of specialists months to build correctly, that part just got dramatically smaller. And it didn't take a miracle. The skill I used is from the Stream Agent skills. Link below if you want to run the same test yourself. Pick a product you think is too hard to clone and, well, see how far you get.